Hi everyone, and welcome back to Democracy 4. So, I came to a bit of a realization looking through this that all of the weird campaigns I've been doing as America, all of the kind of extreme ones that have actually been going well. Every time I try a different nation, it goes a bit awry. I think that's mostly because the difficulty is really spiking. So, for example, Britain here is marked as the hardest difficulty. And so I think what I'm going to be trying to do is just go through some of these harder countries and just see if I can get re-elected without going for a kind of memey extreme run through. So today I was going to try out Britain. The actual idea here of really just getting re-elected, I'm going to adjust policies as I see fit with, primary goal, get re-elected. Secondary goal, get rid of as many of the red warnings as possible. So yeah, we are going to be the New Party, and our two opponents are two leading UK parties, Conservatives and Labour, leaving everything else as default. And just before we change ministers, I'm just going to quickly look at the background here just to see what are the most important groups. So we have quite a lot of capitalists, quite a lot of liberals, quite a few state employees. Okay, so those are definitely groups that we're going to want to be appeasing. Okay, liberal socialist as foreign policy, another liberal socialist as welfare, liberal trade unionist economics. Okay, so it looks here like we're just picking up loads of liberal people. That's fine. So another one as tax. Someone middle income conservatives as our public services. Gonna have to keep middle income on our side anyway, since they are such a large chunk of the population. Okay, law and order, socialist and state employees. Mostly surprised how few capitalist people there are on offer here. Go motorist and socialist as the last transport. Okay, so with that, we've got a fair number of socialists on board, so we'll try not to annoy them too much, while at the same time wanting to make capitalists like us. It's going to be a little hard to pull off. But looking at our people and the demographics here, I think going heavily on pro-liberal agenda is going to help us quite a lot. In terms of the problems that we've got organized crime, respiratory disease, obesity, and an uncompetitive economy. Similar things to what we've seen before. We do have the monarchy perk, which does boost tourism and stability, does hurt equality. Now we're running a 23 billion deficit. Okay, so I think the first thing I want to tackle is the organized crime problem, because that's hurting GDP, so if we can get rid of that, other things will start improving. I think I am going to annoy the Liberals a little bit, unfortunately. I just want to increase intelligence service. That will directly hit organized crime quite strongly. Also going to bump up unexplained wealth orders. But to give the Liberals something so I'm not completely annoying them, I am just going to cancel the use of tasers. Okay, unfortunately, unemployment is going up, health is going down, world is in recession. Okay, so we've got a con man who's been arrested, but if we send him back to his country of origin, he's likely to be tortured. I'm going to do something to keep the Liberals on our side and keep him here. Yeah, annoys the Patriots, but the Liberals like it. Increases liberalism, which is quite nice, and compassionate goes up. Popularity is nicely boosted though. Okay, I'm going to put in witness protection program, also the drug enforcement agency. Quite cheap things, and that should hopefully really start to push organized crime down. Also, to bring in some money and improve the obesity situation, I'm going to really increase the junk food tax. And another one that I really like is the telecommuting initiative. Not too expensive, all really good effects. Okay, so whether we want to employ freedom of information, I do. Liberals will like it. Okay, organised crime is starting to tick down now. Okay, I'm going to put in some extra taxes, bring in some more money, and so let's do some of these environmental ones. So frequent flyer tax, put that in really high. I'm going to put in some relatively stiff plastics tax. Does hit the GDP, but does improve the environment. Okay, a tourist has been murdered. Nothing we can really do about that. Our deficit is going down at least. Organised crime is definitely taking a bit of a nosedive. And I want to put in a few things to improve the economy. So I'm going to do a business startup campaign, put in small business grants, put that in at a medium level. I'm also going to put in technology colleges. Okay, so do we attend a gay wedding? Yep. Liberals like us even more. Looking to get 80% of the vote right now. It's looking very good. Okay, then I'm going to do a confusing pair of taxes. I'm going to put in an automation tax, which gives us a very nice chunk of money, does lower technology and industrial automation, but can then follow that up with robotics research grants, which can turn to max, which will be paid for by the other tax and gives us more automation. So basically, we're taxing the very top end companies in order to pay for a little bit of research into better tech. So that seems like a win-win. Can even use that same tax to give us a really high technology grant, and that will even further push our technology. So we go with slashed our deficit while increasing GDP and our economy. So do we support gay adoption? Yep, definitely. Liberals are definitely on our side. Might be getting skill shortage soon, so we do need to do something about education. Okay then, one thing we can do very solidly for education is give very generous university grants. Also nice and cheap, we can boost public libraries a bit. It's going to cost us a bit, but then I think I'm going to bump up the automation tax even more to counteract that. Okay, the Russians are doing Russian things and probing our defenses. Very, very popular. Yeah, I'm just going to max out automation tax, bring in a large amount of money there. I'm going to put in reforestation. It'll take a while to have a effect, but it'll have a very good effect on the environment, which is important as we're boosting GDP, or trying to boost GDP. Okay, do we ban cluster bombs? Yep, gonna ban cluster bombs, further boosting liberals. Okay, our middle income and conservative guys getting unhappy. And it looks like organised crime might not be quite going away. Hit it with a lot of things, but it's just not quite there. So I think I'm going to make use of police drones. It's not very popular, but it should be enough just to push that right over the edge. Yeah, I might just fire that guy and hire a new one. Yeah, setting tougher standards on factory farming, further increase plant-based diets. Looks like organised crime will go away very shortly. Yeah, so fire that public service guy, hire someone else. Commuter and trade unionist should be fine. Let's push in some plant-based diet things, trying to get rid of some obesity. Yeah, let's launch a healthy eating campaign and give subsidies to healthy eating. So we're taxing unhealthy food, really encouraging healthy food. Also want to boost our foreign relations a little bit since we've got some points. So let's put in a diplomatic service and a tourism ad campaign. Okay, so a high-ranking official has done something a bit iffy, but crime is going down, everything else is nice and stable, we are very popular. Okay, I'm going to increase income tax ever so slightly. It is going to annoy a lot of people, but it should pretty much clear our deficit. It's going to push up plastic bag tax and push up graduate tax just a little bit, essentially giving people free university education, so I think it's fair that they get charged afterwards. There we go, so some very nice things. We have got rid of organised crime, so that's a big one. GDP is on the increase, health is on the increase, crime has been utterly slashed, unemployment is down. Okay, so I got a choice of a senior judge. I'm going to go for the one who supports human rights, since that looks like liberals will be on my side. And we are now generating a very nice little surplus. I'm going to put in a trade council, again, trying to boost foreign relations. And I want to do something to appease the liberals even more so. So I'm going to put in the right to die. Religious conservative groups really don't like it, but retired do, liberals really do, and it does lead to a rise of liberalism. Yay, one of our ministers is getting angry with us, but our credit rating has been upgraded, looking to get 90% of the votes. Now we're getting a nice decent surplus in. And I'm going to take some of that surplus and put it into a childcare provision. It's going to put this on a medium rate. It does improve productivity. Parents really like it, increases socialism, increases gender equality, all looking pretty good. Going to boost up recycling a little bit more. And I'm going to spend the rest of our surplus on really boosting science funding. Okay, Argentina's planted a flag. It's not ideal, so on Falklands, but obesity's gone away. Still have a nice surplus. Alright, I think we're getting a lot of negative effects for having a relatively weak army, so I'm just going to increase military spending. And I'm going to fire the guy who's really unhappy, hire a replacement who's a little more amenable. So, commuter ethnic minorities. Going to get rid of compulsory school sports. Don't really need it now, but obesity is no longer an issue. Okay, so we've got a whistleblower in our state intelligence services. I'm going to reform the services. So patriots are very unhappy, but everyone else is happy that we're no longer doing some dodgy things. Okay, so we're getting some conservative radicals, so I'll just need to keep an eye on that. And put in an electric cars initiative, help sort out some things there, and banking the rest. Okay, so we've got a royal scandal. I'm going to actually support the monarch just to get conservatives on our side a little bit because we have been really annoying them. Does look like we're going to get water shortage soon, so I'll need to immediately do something about that. Alright, so easiest thing to do, I'm going to throw in compulsory water meters. Also throw in adult education subsidies, mostly to boost productivity. Yeah, unfortunately we've had a downed power lines that caused a fire. Environmental protests might be kicking off soon. So I'm going to go ahead and do something rather big now. Saved up enough points to do the carbon tax. Going to put it in at a moderate level. It is going to hurt GDP, but will heavily impact CO2 emissions and brings in an extra 12 billion, which we should then be able to spend on some other things. Okay, so do we allow delivery drones? I'm going to allow limited trials. Okay, so our main focus of the campaign, well, I'm going to say it's our really, really low crime rate. We've basically destroyed crime, and we've now got a load of money lying around, so I can begin throwing money into some things to see off the environmental disaster. Chuck in a National Business Council just to offset what we've done to the GDP. Okay, so I'm not going to sign an agreement that cuts out weaker countries, boosts foreign relations quite a bit. I'm going to boost tobacco tax, mostly to reduce tobacco usage in order to help our respiratory issues, and give more funding to a tobacco awareness campaign, and do a keep the country tidy campaign. Let's just boost the environment as much as we can. Okay, major factory is closed. Environmental protests have started, unfortunately. Still expect to get 88% of the vote, so I don't think we need to bother with speeches. So I'm going to put a large amount of money into a new high-speed rail system, boost productivity, and it will reduce car usage by quite a bit. It's expensive, but hopefully it'll be worth it in the long run. I'm going to put more money into hybrid cars as well. Okay, so putting new face on banknotes, I'm going to choose a human rights activist. Got ourselves a private space industry, that's really nice. Got manifesto promises available, but I don't think we really need to. Again, we're expect to get 90% of the vote now. We are running a slight deficit, unfortunately. Have been throwing around a lot of money recently. Now I'm going to put in a clean fuel subsidy, carpooling campaign, and new car subsidies. Costs us a little bit more, all of that, but will hopefully just keep things ticking over and help improve the environment. Environment is starting to tick up again. Okay, so we've got a choice of whether we run a positive or negative campaign. I'm going to run a mostly positive campaign. I think we're really good. I don't think we need to attack our opponents. Nice, seems to have gone well, so let's see what the results are. There we go. That is very firmly for us. So, farmers, religious conservatives are the main people not voting for us, have upended crime entirely, really improved education, really improved GDP. There are some things that are on the rise that are not great. Rare metal prices we'd need to look at going forward. Productivity is a lot better than it was. In terms of our compass, we went right down the liberal side, slightly on the capitalist end, but very, very liberal. I don't think there's any need to really reshuffle these guys. Actually, I might reshuffle the transport minister. She is not very happy with her job, so we can get someone new in. Socialists and parents. So someone with a dodgy human rights record, I'm going to turn that down. Cyberbullying is on the way, but we managed that very nicely. Minimal threat going around. So I think all in all, that was a really good run, really good campaign, and we won. So can definitely win as Britain. We just needed to appease the Liberals and the environmentalists rather heavily, but we've got everything working quite well. If you'd like to see me go for another term on this campaign, do just let me know. I'd be more than happy to. Or if you'd like me to try any of the other countries, again, just let me know. But if you did like this, please do give the video a like, really does help. And either way, I will see you in the next video. Until then, remember to be kind to yourself and everyone else. Cheers!